What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and this is a little bit of an Ultra Z News addendum, maybe a special report, but it's also like a Let's Talk. So I don't know how ultimately I posted this up, but whatever version it is, we're going to talk about the Hiya Toys prototypes that they showed last week. Now, these were all previously announced figures. We've gotten official pics, but these are the working prototypes that they have going right now. They posted them as like a thank you to everyone for your support. All good. But I felt like I wanted to talk about these, and within the Ultra Z News, I think it was going to take a little bit too long because I end up like talking a little long when it comes to this stuff. So let's take a look at these, and let me give you my opinion on these. Now, just to preface this, I didn't make this to bash Hiya Toys. I know a lot of folks think I really hate Hiya Toys, but really do understand. My relationship with Hiya Toys is different than your relationship. I've actually had a relationship with Hiya Toys. You understand? Long before any of your favorite Godzilla reviewers was working with them, I was working with them years before them. I broke Hiya Toys covering Godzilla. So my history with them is deeper than you guys as fans, and is deeper than any reviewer right now. I no longer have a relationship with Hiya Toys, and that was me. Like, I said, I do not want to play the games you are playing at this point, and there are games going on. Now, also to note, Hiya Toys recently lost one of their sculptors, and I'm not going to get into that, but it kind of shows. Like, I feel like these prototypes don't quite look that good, and I've mentioned this as the official pics have come out, but now these are more working prototypes, so it's worth looking at. Now, I've said the Kong with Beast Glove looks awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It looks really, really good. Shimo looks good too, but I'm looking forward to the SH Monster Arts version more. Even though this Shimo looks really good, there's something too stubby about this one, and that's kind of like the sculpt of all of these. They're kind of too stubby. It's really, really weird. And I gotta tell you that I feel like a lot of these look different than they did initially. If you look at the Godzilla 91, he looks chunkier, the legs look weirder, the joints look weirder, and that's kind of across the board where I feel like some of these joints don't look quite right. There's something weird going on, and I don't know if, actually I do know. They're revising and revising and revising, and we saw that with Mechagodzilla. It's not part of this, we're not going to talk about it. We're gonna keep on what we see here. But in terms of that Hokkaido Godzilla, it definitely doesn't look as good as the prototype, the initial official photos did. Something weird about the legs and the feet, the way they sit. I don't know what they did there, but something looks weird. Now, the Godzilla 2000, or 99, whatever they're calling it, I've already been on record saying I didn't like this, and the prototype doesn't do it any justice. This prototype, I think, looks bad. I think it's their worst sculpt that they've done. It doesn't look quite right. It looks too stubby in all angles. I'm not sure what is going on there, but that one, it needs some work. Like I said, with Shimo, I think the paint looks really good, and that looks like it's close to release because it's painted. Surprisingly, the Ghidorah 91 looks close to being released too, and I gotta say, those necks look short. So there's a little bit of something on all of these. It's weird. I mean, the necks just look short to me. Then you got the Kong. I do like the Kong. This face, it looks alright. I feel like some of their other faces that they had shown off look better. But I'm still really looking forward to this because I think this is their best sculpt. of Kong that they've done. I'm a huge fan of Kong. I know Kong like the back of my skull, and you know, like, I just don't feel like they've done Kong justice so far. This one looks really good. Then you got the Godzilla GMK, and I'm not sure what happened here because I thought that one looked pretty decent in the initial, you know, official pics. This one, something happened with the head. The mouth looks really weird. The hands look really weird now. I don't know what's happening. And it looks stubby again. Although I do have to say, there is a certain like kind of chubbiness to GMK, so that's fine. But definitely something in the arms and definitely in the mouth looks a little bit weird. So I'm not 100% on any of these. I hope to get them, but you know, my big issue with Hiya Toys at this point, like, forget about past issues, is the availability and how they come out here in the United States. The US releases of all of these are so far behind the mainland China releases that it's actually like totally ridiculous. I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know if they're given too big of a window for Chinese stores to make the money, or it's just, you know, how they worked out the deal with Diamond. And to bring up another huge point and how it's possibly going to affect this, Diamond filed for you know, bankruptcy. So I don't know what's going to happen, you know, in the coming year with Diamond as a distributor. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens to them and what happens to Hiya because of it. They've been, you know, together for a long time. I mean, the first time I ever saw Hiya was in Diamond's booth at Toy Fair, way before they started doing Godzilla stuff. So, you know, like, it's going to be very, very interesting. But as of now, I just think they've been so far behind on US releases. It's been detrimental to them, like, because, you know, and I've mentioned this too, they keep doing like these variants of some of these figures and upgrading some of these figures in the next release. Meanwhile, the previous release still hasn't come out here, and it allows so many people to cancel. That is not a sustainable business model. Like, that's very, very bad for long-term business. No matter how you slice it, that is not good business. So they need to do something where they, you know, they need to, you know, reorganize the way they distribute here to the United States. So maybe, you know, if the partnership with DST dissolves, so it's not DST, I think it's Diamond Distributors. It's DST's part of Diamond Distributors. Like, maybe ultimately that might help Hiya in some way get released here if it is a distribution problem. So, but we'll see about that. You know, for me personally, I don't like to import Hiya Toys because of how I feel, both personally, you know, because of my experiences with them, and, you know, because of when I have reviewed their stuff, like, none of it has made me eager to spend more money to get it on time. I'd rather save the money. Like, I'd rather wait. Give me a US release, you know, like, it's the same price, you know, figure wise. It's not like when you get something from Japan and it's so much cheaper than a US release. Like, the foreign release and the US release of the Hiya is the same price. So I'm actually spending more on figures that I'm not loving. Like, it's weird. Like, so, you know, there's a lot of issues that I personally have with Hiya, so maybe this video, like, gives you a little bit more understanding. Now, again, I can't really get into, like, you know, the meat and potatoes of, like, what dissolved the relationship. Maybe one day I can. And I'm not going to do that, you know, without throwing people under the bus. So, you know, like, just know, I'm not the only one. Like, their designers have had problems, internal problems with them. So, you know, not everything is hunky-dory. So for those that defend Hiya, you know, to the gills, understand that it's not all like sunshine on the other side. It really isn't. There's reasons why, you know, I have issues. There's reasons why other people have issues. But I still, as a fan of what they do, like, you know, the style of figures they do, I would like them to be more accessible and, you know, be released here more, just for their long-term business, also for me to be able to get them sooner. It's like the longer they wait, the more reasons, you know, people have to cancel them. Like, you know, people can't wait forever for stuff, and sometimes once they finally do come out, like, people had to cancel for various reasons. You know, people not made of money. Sometimes you have to cancel stuff. I know I have. Unfortunately, like, I missed out on even some US releases because I had to cancel them at, you know, I waited so long and then I didn't have the money for them anymore. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem that needs to be solved on their end, getting the stuff over here first. But as far as these prototypes go, like, I definitely see a lot of weird things here, some flaws. I don't know if a lot of that has to do with design changes or what. But we'll see as these get closer to release, as they get released, how they ultimately look. I do hope to review a bunch of these for sure, so we'll see. But there you go, guys. I'm going to keep the video at that. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Feel free to, you know, talk about anything. Again, I didn't make this to hate. I just made this to get this opinion out, you know, and make this its own video and just be able to talk about these things a little bit longer. I want cool kaiju figures as much as you do. And there you have it. Till next time, peace out, people.